Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, whenever you might be listening to this. This is the Buzzed Pucks Podcast.
Podcast.
I'm Bert,
I'm Clay.
and we are here for week 26 of the NHL season as we eke ever closer to the playoffs. We only got
Ever
a
closer.
week and a half of games left.
Anti-penultimate.
Anti-penultimate, that's true. But we only have, teams have anywhere from 4 to 6 games left, I think.
Yep,
Um, But yeah, we're getting down to it,
that's it.
and boy howdy, I gotta tell you, doesn't seem like anybody wants the last wild card spot in either conference based on what
None of
happened
them.
this week, or
Yeah,
third place in the Metropolitan Division either.
correct.
Because last week, like you could go back and listen. Clay and I were like, oh man, the both sides are gonna get like really interesting getting down to it because like the East, there's a bunch of good teams like vying for that playoff spot or mediocre teams, depending on who you're talking
Yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah.
And then in the West, there's like, oh, all of these teams are fighting for that spot to go and get crushed by Colorado in the first round. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, this week,
And then
nobody
this
wants
week they
to do
all
that.
lost.
They
Well,
seems like all those
it
teams are
stays
just like, we're good.
interesting.
It does stay
It stays
interesting,
interesting
but in the
because
way we
they
weren't
almost
thinking.
all had bad weeks.
Yeah. I think like the best weeks of all of them, if I can remember, are like going 2-2. Like that's the best
Yeah.
week any of them had. Um, but oh
Or you have
man,
a team like Toronto who went like 2-1, who's eliminated.
eliminated. The Rangers had a good week too. Like, and
Yeah, the
they're
Rangers had a
eliminated.
great
They've been
week.
eliminated for a couple of weeks now. Uh,
They've
but
won 4 straight games at home.
yeah, that's crazy. Remember when they got shut
Yeah,
out like
like
3 straight times at home to begin the season?
it was 5 straight
Or
times.
5 straight
It was
times?
something
Oh
crazy.
god, it was insane. Um,
They're still only 14, 19, and 7 at home.
Still only.
But those
With that
last
four
four
game win
games
streak, yeah.
in like the 2 weeks.
All right. Well, before we get to it, what are you drinking, my man?
I'm drinking Fiddlehead Brewing Company's IPA. I still have the 30 rack of Miller,
Oh, I
but
knew. I figured you did.
I was out of town and they gave where I was staying gave me a beer.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. I have from Spunny Nose Brewing Company their key lime pie sour. I see
Oh,
a key
Spunny
lime
Nose is
pie
good
sour.
key
I'm
lime.
gonna buy it
Yeah,
because I think we've
it's
said it
yummy.
before
We're
on here.
chasing that dragon, but
Clay
like
and I have our Great White Buffalo of a beer. It was I don't remember what it was called, but it was from Gun Hill Brewing Company. It
it's
was a
just
key
key lime.
lime. It was a key lime beer, and it was one of the best beers I've ever drank. Never seen it
Oh,
ever again. So I'm chasing that dragon, hoping I find one someday.
uh, you could like
You could taste like
it's
you
good.
could taste the
You
pie.
could taste the
You could
crust.
take the. I know
Like
that's like that's some additive into the beer that does that. I remember somebody telling me that, but
yeah,
it was so perfect. It was so perfect. This beer, very good, very sour. It tastes like key lime.
but we're chasing perfection.
Not the perfect beer from back then. All right. Okay.
But here's the thing:
Yeah.
I'm worried that if Gun Hill ever
If it comes back, it
releases
won't
another
be as
key
good.
lime,
Yeah, and
it
our
won't be the
memory will be
same.
shattered. I
So
hope they
we're
don't. I hope they don't for that sake,
yeah,
for just that reason. All right.
uh,
The magic numbers in the Eastern Conference
changed.
have changed is 98 points. So that has come down significantly from a couple of weeks
Yep.
ago. All of this, I will tell you, all of this hinges on what Detroit does at the moment because they're the last
Uh
team
huh.
out if you go by tiebreakers and whatnot. So
Yep.
whatever Detroit does at the moment is what is bringing down that magic number. So right now it is 98. We did have Carolina clinched this week.
They all clinched,
What?
or like Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Montreal,
Oh, you're
Carolina,
right. I'm so sorry.
all clinched this week.
Well, Buffalo and Tampa's happened earlier in the week, so I forgot that that was the same week. But yes, we had a
It
bunch of
happened.
clinches. You're right. I'm sorry.
No, it only happened on Friday or
Did it?
Saturday.
Oh God, my brain.
Yeah, it happened. They only clinched on Saturday.
Wow, my That's how
Your
my
week
weekend's
is
been going. That's how
yeah.
that's how my weekend's been going. Anyway, in the Western Conference, it's 93 points. So you remember everybody was like, "Oh, shitting on the Western Conference. Oh, all the teams in the Western Conference way worse than the Eastern Conference." Those Magic numbers are pretty close now. I'm just saying. Not that
They
that
are pretty
means
close.
one is better than the other, but because the Eastern Conference teams obviously have to
But
play each other, that's where that is coming in. But
yeah, and well, also the none of the Pacific teams have hit that magic number yet.
no, no, they could all still miss the playoffs. Even the Oilers could still miss the playoffs technically. And
Yeah.
I think at least them and Anaheim could clinch this week. I think. And there's a bunch of teams in the
Theoretically.
East that could also clinch this week too. Theoretically, you have to win those games though. Anyway,
Gotta win
we'll
'em.
take a look at the standings, and I also I pulled up the schedules for my teams in the playoff hunt to look at the end of the show
Cool.
too, just to give us an idea
Yeah.
of what they got coming. My headphones
Well, a
are
lot of them
acting up.
like
Yeah.
play each other.
Yes, a lot of them play each other, or unfortunately for a few of them, they play like the juggernaut teams at the top of the standings, which is not
Yeah.
great for them. Um,
Nope.
but
Especially with some of their injury problems.
yeah, oh yeah, there's been some serious injury problems with a few of them. Why don't you do your little bit of news first, and then I'll hit mine because
All right.
there's one that we're gonna talk about for a few minutes.
Well, I think that I have one that we're going to talk about for a few
Okay.
minutes as well. But first off, I only have one real news in the West, and that is Macklin Celebrini becomes the third ever Sharks player to hit 100 points in the season.
Yep.
He's done this at age 19.
Yes, he is the fourth teenager all time to do
I
it, or
think
something
so.
like that, with Lemieux,
Um,
Crosby, and Gretzky. I think there might be more than that, but
yeah. But
God, I drink the
he
water so loudly.
passes. Uh, Carlson hit 100 points exactly.
Yes. What was that
Eric
3
Carlson.
years ago, 4 years ago at this point?
His last year.
His last year
on
in
the
San Jose.
Joe Thornton has 125 points, but the thing about Joe Thornton is he did that the year he got traded from Boston. So
Yeah.
Macklin Celebrini currently holds the points record for just a Sharks player.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. We had to take a little pause there, but that might have been one of our earliest one of our earliest pauses. 8 minutes in.
Yeah. So that's the only news I got in the Pacific. In the Atlantic, what's his name? Patrick Kane becomes the highest scoring American of all time, passing Brett Hull.
What? The highest scoring American of all time? So he passed Mike Modano.
Yes.
Mike Modano was number what?
Right. Brett Hull is number 1. Mike Modano is now number 3.
Oh, I thought Modano was number 1.
Of goals, yes.
Oh, I guess I just thought it was both. Okay.
All
well,
points is Brett
either
Hull.
way. Either way. Now it's Patrick Kane. So.
Yes. Now is Patrick Kane. So congratulations to him.
And also shout out Patrick Kane. Blew Detroit's last game for them.
Yes, they did.
So he took a really stupid penalty, and they blew the game.
That. He ties the game, and all right, we'll get to that.
It's so funny.
Brady Tkachuk.
Such a stupid thing to do. Yeah, Brady Tkachuk.
Brady Tkachuk got another stupid thing to do. Got fined for unsportsmanlike conduct for slashing a Buffalo Sabres player while he was on the bench.
I would love for both Tkachuk brothers to miss the playoffs. One is definitely missing the playoffs. The other one, yes. I would love to also miss.
It's crazy because I would root for
the Senators,
Ottawa.
Despite my dislike of Brady Tkachuk, I would probably also pull for the Senators. I also
haven't had issues with Brady Tkachuk until the past month.
Yeah, the past few months has been the bit.
Until
he's not nearly as bad.
Podcast with his stupid brother.
He's not nearly as bad as his brother, yeah.
Which add this to the news. Freaking on their stupid podcast, which again, like I surprised Brady can read.
He doesn't look like he can.
Both of their dads, both of them had their dad on. They had Keith Kachuk.
Yeah.
And basically, like, over the gist of it, Keith complained about Brady's ice time, which again, he is the captain of the Senators.
He's like
and
their
then
top line center, like, or winger.
And
one
then
of the two.
called Linus Ullmark soft.
That's good. That's good.
And then also, he kind of started accidentally might have started a trade rumor because
again
for Brady because
yeah.
Brady only has 2 years left on this contract. So he's just like, oh, how much? Yeah.
I thought it was longer than that.
How much are you getting paid? How much you getting paid? How much long is your contract? We'll talk later. That's what he said on the phone.
Yeah, God forbid he only makes like $8 million or something.
Correct.
God forbid.
And watching this video, especially when Matt and Keith are clowning on Ullmark, Brady is definitely uncomfortable looking down and
he should be
and doing the.
You're the captain of that team.
Yeah, and he feels like the little brother in that dynamic, which I get it, and
he definitely is.
Keith's an asshole, and a noted asshole in the league, and he raised them. So of course,
he's probably just. I don't know him personally, obviously. I would assume he's probably just generally a bully, and he was a bully to them.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. So I'm not going to condemn Brady for not standing up.
No, it's not like he shat on Ullmark, right? But
he didn't. But
that is a tough situation to stand up to your older brother and your father when they're being shitty.
Yes. But it got released through the Florida game, which Ullmark got shelled, got chased. It was recorded before the Florida game.
Right, but it was put out directly after.
Then it was released after it. So
they're not a smart family, I don't think.
No. So both before the Buffalo game, the media requested both Ullmark and Kachuk for comments. Senators said no, which is good for them.
I mean, that was going to turn into a circus really fast.
They also had Travis Green, talk to him. He's like, oh, yeah, we go way back. He's a friend. I played with him, known him a long time. I know he's outspoken. I think Brady's minutes are fine. So.
Well, that probably does speak to they are probably friends, and he probably texted him after hearing that and be like, shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah.
He plays 20-plus minutes a night. What do you want?
Yeah. Right.
You're not... Shut up, Dad.
But, now there's another circus around Ottawa, so that's something else that they need.
Well, it's like, did his dad cause the rumors, the trade desire rumors previously, too? I feel like he might have.
I don't know.
I feel like he might have at, the last offseason or something, too. And then Brady got asked about it. Brady was like, absolutely not. I don't want to be traded,
Right.
kind of thing. And then it died down, but now it's back. I don't know if that was his dad, but I feel like it was. Someone's dad did that.
I feel like it was.
But I might be thinking of a different sport.
I know his dad threatened to, wanted to fight someone on behalf of Matt.
Little baby Matt can't do his own fights. Oh,
right.
Baby
Which
Matt.
we saw this week.
Actually, we did see this week. We saw him bitch out super hard.
And then finally, this wasn't the news that we were going to take time on. Toronto finally fired Brad Treliving.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I knew you did.
That happened early in the week. I forgot that happened this week.
That happened early in the week.
Oh, good. I don't know why Berube
Yeah,
still
no.
has a job too. Unless
Yeah,
they're just gonna
he's not gonna.
look firing your coach with 8 or less games to play seems all the rage for the last 2 weeks. So I don't know why
Oh
they
yeah,
wouldn't just fire Berube.
well, I think someone saw how it worked. It's worked well for Vegas so far. But
Sure,
for um for Tree Living,
they didn't want him to do that draft.
they did not want
They
him
don't
to
want
do
him to
that
do that
draft.
draft coming up.
Well, why do you have him do the trade deadline? So Keith Peely is
Yeah,
the president. We appreciate from both he's done as an executive in person, but it was determined that the club must chart a new course under different leadership, and they're going to start the
Peter
GM search.
Shirelli.
Shirelli could be Bill Armstrong because he's leaving
I have seen
St.
Bill.
Louis. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
well, didn't Shirelli just leave St. Louis too? Didn't they? He
Shirelli
was
just left
also at St. Louis. I thought.
something out.
No,
I thought it was somewhere else.
he was like one of the assistants or something. He wasn't a GM. He was maybe it wasn't St. Louis, but he was somewhere where I didn't even realize he was there because he was just like an associate or something or a advisor. But
But then they
he left that. I'm just saying, Shirelli left that position, and then 2 days later, Tree Living got fired. I'm just saying.
exactly.
I'm just saying.
I would not be surprised.
Oh boy, that would be the worst possible decision. I think would be Peter Shirelli.
And I also
Matthew Nye's gone.
I think last week we said Shanahan, or I said something about Shanahan.
Yes.
Shanahan's been gone all year.
Yes, we
I was
forgot
wrong.
Shanahan's not even there anymore.
We forgot that he was
gone. They let his contract lapse last offseason,
Yes.
I think. So, firing and not renewing kind of way.
Yes.
Yeah, both of us totally forgot about that, and we yelled at Shanahan for whatever's going on, and he hasn't even been there this year.
And he's not. Even
He did
part
enough
of it.
that it's still at least partially his fault what's going on right now.
The Keith Pelley also said the words retool, not rebuild, because Nylander
whatever.
is
that
not
doesn't
interested.
mean anything anymore.
No, but Nylander said he's not interested in a rebuild.
I mean, I get it.
The also quote from Keith Pilley that was kind of crazy is again, quote, we didn't see the train, which was the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens, and how strong those two teams are.
Two teams in our division.
Buffalo and Montreal have shown that they're young, energetic, who are going to be here for a long time. It's all right, what are you doing then? Montreal and Ottawa made the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Montreal, one of the teams you just said was in the playoffs last year.
And then added Noah Dobson in the offseason.
Yeah, they swung big in the offseason.
They were coming.
And they've clinched a playoff spot this year, too. So, they're in there.
Who did you think you were going to be better than? Did you saw Florida's down,
who did they think they were going to be better than?
You saw Florida be wrecked by injuries and thought that was you knew that was going to happen? Because Florida was supposed to be one of the top teams.
Mm-hmm.
Ottawa made the playoffs last year. Detroit's been making progress. Boston is inevitable. Seems like it just will not lose.
They only miss the playoffs once every 10 years, and that was last year.
Right.
So they're back.
Yeah.
Fucking Bruins. Hate them.
What did you think? That's just not looking around your division and realizing what's going on.
Yeah.
It was released that Toronto's selling fan experiences for big bucks, $63 to press the goal horn.
$63. That sucks. To just hit
and they were
button.
Weird numbers too, 63.76, weird numbers.
Are those the years that they won Stanley Cups?
No.
76 is, right? Or no, it isn't. That's the Flyers. 70.
67.
60. Whatever. You guys get it. You guys get it.
But yeah, it was just
Do you think this guy? What was his name? Pelling.
Absurd. Yes.
you think Pelling is looking at how the Penguins are about to make the playoffs too, and be like, man, wish that guy was still over here.
Mate,
That's
no.
like in 3 years taken a total dumpster fire and then turned it into a playoff team again.
You're right.
So, oh, Toronto. Well, you
But
know
yeah,
what?
no, like
I
they
think it's a good thing that they fired Tree Living, but I don't trust them to hire
no,
uh not Peter Chiarelli. Bill Armstrong wouldn't be a bad choice, but uh they just can't hire coaches either. You know, like
no.
Sheldon Keefe was fine, but Sheldon Keefe, like we've talked about it for years, got outcoached in the playoffs. He could get them there. He just couldn't get them past the first or second round usually.
Absolutely. But like
And now
the
Berube is
fan
already.
experience thing
Yeah, that's weird.
is super gross just because like this is stuff that should be like um given to like charities or school
Yeah,
groups and like
yeah.
your
Make a
auction
wish,
like
or yeah.
you're charging $1,000 to like wave the flag from center ice.
During a game, or just like on a
Like
on a
the
random
pregame,
Tuesday
like
afternoon. Oh,
I
the
think
pregame.
during the
Okay.
pregame or stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
that's still
So
it's still horrible. God, they're
yeah,
such like a. I think one of the reasons I don't like Montreal as like a team is because they're so corporate. They just feel so corporate, right? And there's other
yeah.
teams in other
Are you
leagues.
Montreal or Toronto?
Toronto. What did I say?
Montreal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Toronto. Toronto like feels like such a corporate team, right? It feels like
Yes.
once you get past like the coaches and I guess the GM, it just feels like cold, bureaucracy above them, right?
Yes.
And there are other teams that feel that way. I f- Ve-
Philadelphia
I was gonna
with
say Vegas kind of feels that way a little bit with how cutthroat they
yes,
are. The Rangers kind of feel that way to me too. Just it's like the bigger
absolutely with
teams. It's like the bigger, richer teams. That's what they feel like. And there's other teams
well
in other sports that feel that way too. The Yankees kind of feel that way to me at this point.
Vegas doesn't I don't get that vibe from Vegas.
No,
Yes, they
okay.
are. Yes, they are ruthless.
Maybe it's
But
just like the
it
ruthless bleeding into it. But
it doesn't seem like a corporate ruthless. It just seems we want to win ruthless instead of
yeah, okay.
make
I guess that's
money
fair.
ruthless.
I guess that's fair.
Um
But
but
it's
the
just
the
yeah,
Rangers,
the Rangers
yes,
and the
because we've
Maple
talked
Leafs
about their
definitely.
front office stuff, like they're owned by Dolan, so that's just a
Yeah,
mess.
it's
Remember
just
the media
toxic.
couldn't talk to
Yeah.
the players, type of deal.
So like I don't know. I guess it's the big rich teams always kind of feel like that, right? I feel like the Yankees kind of feel
Yeah.
like that. I feel like the Dodgers kind of feel like that, where they're just like, this is a money printing machine. Yeah, we're gonna spend a shitload of money on players, but like, really at the end of the day,
The experience
give us
doesn't
the
matter.
money,
Yeah.
right? Um, and it's there. I'm sure there's football teams like that too. I can't really think of any right now, but
Yeah.
oh man, it'll be interesting to see who they hire as a GM. That's
It really will be, and it's
and
oof.
whoever's going to be that coach next year, because it better not be Craig Berube.
No, not after this past
Not after
like
this
this
season, and
season.
all of just like seemed like a nightmare for the Maple Leafs.
hmm
All right, let's move on. Do you anything else to say before I move on?
I got no news.
Okay.
Injuries.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your interviews.
Uh, good takes. So Michikov is day to day for the
Anaheim.
Ducks. So is Gudis and Gautier. Uh, Michikov and Gudis lower bodies. Gautier is upper body. Sam Carrick is week to week with an arm injury. Noah Austin is day to day upper body. Um, Joe Hanley for the Flames is done for the season. Mason Appleton is day to day upper body. Justin Falk is also day to day lower body. He might be missing some time.
Okay.
Zach Hyman is week to week upper body or undisclosed. Excuse me. Um, Aaron Ekblad's done for the season with a broken finger. The only injured guy um, who might be coming back, I can't think of his name.
Who's he play for?
The Panthers. Basically, every injured Panther is
Kulikov?
coming back. It is Kulikov. It is Kulikov. He's dealing with a broken nose. He's trying to play through it.
Okay.
Everyone else is who's broken is done.
I mean, they got eliminated this week. Why push them to come back, right? Like these last however many games Florida has just literally don't matter other than like draft pick seeding.
Draft and ruining other teams' playoffs.
Well, that too, yeah. Like, I'm sure they would like to ruin some other teams' dreams, but yeah. Okay.
Still going is Carrier is 2 to 4 weeks for the Montreal Canadiens upper body. The Senators are having a problem. Tyler Clevin week to week.
Oh,
Carter,
right.
Yeah.
I saw
Carter
this the other
Yakimchuk
night.
is in concussion protocol.
It's like 5 of their 6 starting defensemen are injured.
Yes, 5 of their 6 starting defensemen. Sanderson is rushing back. Is getting rushed back. He played the other night, but he's definitely not healthy. So
it's not good.
Huge injuries to their blue line because they got Shabbat, Gilbert, Jensen, Clevin, Yakimchuk, all injured, all injured.
Yeah. Well, you can see where the problems are coming in for Ottawa currently. Makes a bit of sense.
Brandon Hagel is day-to-day undisclosed. For Tampa, so is Scott Saborn. But Scott Saborn's a AHL plus player.
Right.
And that is it.
Okay.
For my injuries.
Okay. So I have a trio of milestones this week.
Yes, you do.
The first one, Clay, you mentioned this last week. Alex Ovechkin, basically the game after you mentioned it, Alex Ovechkin hit the 30-goal mark for the 20th time in his career.
Yes, he did.
Not the only Russian to be outdone. Evgeny Malkin hit 14.
He already holds the record. He already holds the record for most.
Oh, for most 30-goal seasons?
30-goal seasons, yeah.
Nice. Evgeny Malkin hit 1,400 career points in the first game against the Panthers this week for the Penguins. The 23rd player all-time to do that. And Mr. 101.
100.
Yeah, I made the joke first. For that stupid bullshit countdown they did like 5 years ago. 23rd player to get 1,400 points, but he's the 101st best all-time, according to some dumbass in Canada.
That's it.
And his
This is an official like Sportsnet.
I think it was.
That was an official Sportsnet thing. Yeah,
like I said, some dumbass in Canada. Sidney Crosby, his teammate, hit 21 consecutive seasons of having over a point per game, and passed Steve Yzerman for 7th all-time in scoring. He did that in the passed Steve Yzerman in the first game against Florida, and then got his 21st consecutive point per game season in the second game against Florida this week for the Penguins. If
I'm pretty sure McDavid could hit like 4th all time on the pace he's going this season, or 5th all time.
This season?
Yeah, because he's like Dion isn't far ahead of him.
Okay. I'm not saying that you're
I'll
wrong.
look it up.
Okay. That would surprise me a little bit, but if things go correctly and Crosby's like fully healthy next year, there is a solid chance that he will, I believe, pass Gordie Howe for 4th all time next year, by the end of next year.
Gotcha.
Currently, I think he's something like 100 points behind him, but he still has 4 more games this year.
Yeah.
And if he has a good year, like the last 3 years, he's averaged 90 points. So I think he would have to have like 95 points next year to pass Gordie Howe for fourth all time. So doable, certainly doable.
Very doable.
All right, those are the three milestones of the week. Kind of four, I guess, if you count Crosby's too. But Crosby already had the record for most consecutive point per game season, so he's just going to keep setting that as long as he can, I guess.
Yeah.
And then our
Oh.
final. Mm-hmm.
Brett Burns. You can mention him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he hit 1,000
played-
consecutive games played.
Consecutive games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's
just
crazy.
behind Phil Kessel. I think 60 something behind Phil Kessel. So if he plays next year and doesn't get hurt, he will pass Phil Kessel.
Yes.
There you go. And then our final piece of news for the week. The New York Islanders fired Patrick Waugh and hired Peter DeBoer for the last
Jesus
4
Christ.
games of the season. And also
Mhm.
gave Peter DeBoer 4 more years on top of that,
4 more years.
contractually.
Mm-hmm.
So, remember last week how we were like, it's at least somewhat crazy that the Knights fired Cassidy. I thought it was crazy. You made some good points. How
Yeah.
like, you know, it made some sense, and you know I could see those points to you. This one, I don't get it all.
Stupid crazy.
4 game. Okay, so that last week's was 8 games left. This is 4 games left, and
4 games left.
they're currently don't have a playoff spot, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that's part of the reason why Waugh got fired. Do you really think Peter DeBoer's going to fix their defense in the last 4 games of
No.
the season? No.
This year, no. But I think they have come out and said, or at least whoever the GM is,
Darsh. Matthew Darsh.
Darsh.
Yeah.
Darsh. Was this the last year of Waugh's contract?
It might have been. I'm not 100% sure.
I think this is why, is because he's like, Waugh did not lose the room. This is because we're doing this because we didn't want DeBoer to get snapped up during like the off season.
That's the only bit of it that makes sense to me.
The only bit of it that makes sense.
I
And they interviewed
guess.
Barzell.
Mm-hmm.
They interviewed Barzell, and Barzell was just like, "Yeah, we were kind of laughing about what Vegas did and how crazy it was. It's
And
not
here
that
we
funny
are.
right now."
Yeah, it's not really that funny anymore. Shout out to him for being honest. You know, like usually you get the fucking bullshit robot hockey player answers, but shout out to Barzell to being like, well, I guess we shouldn't have been laughing at that because here we are.
Yeah. Well, it also Barzell's not a goalie; he'll be fine.
That's true. But so I have a few questions with DeBoer. So like he did try to throw Ottinger under the bus at Dallas as he did with Fleury in Vegas. Ottinger won out there. Go ahead.
He didn't try. He threw Ottinger.
He threw.
Right under
Yeah,
the
you're
bus.
right. He threw.
But
Ottinger won out there because the managing staff was like, "Shut up. We're not like getting rid of Ottinger." I think that will happen eventually in this case as well. They're not going to get rid of Sorokin. If they get rid of Sorokin, they're insane.
They're insane.
And I think this week is perfect evidence that Sorokin is the only reason that they're in the playoff hunt right now. At all.
Absolutely.
You could say Schaefer too, but like that. We'll talk about it when we get to them. Their defense is so bad. And this was the first week that Sorokin like had a bad week, right? He didn't have a good week. The first time all season.
But he was
left out to dry. Yeah, he was left out to dry.
It doesn't matter. Like, he wasn't Hellebuck last year. Like he wasn't necessarily bad this week. Is he wasn't a god.
Right. But like we've mentioned before, you know, like he has an absurd statistic where he has 30 plus goals saved above average, which is like 15 or 20 per 60 minutes, which is like 15 or 20 above anybody else.
Yes.
Which we mentioned, I think, a month or two ago, is insane, which means he's the only reason they're near the playoffs.
the only reason.
And
And I think this is also Darsh trying to save his job because
probably, I don't think he's been
what
doing a
is
bad
what
job
his
necessarily.
what do you do in the trade deadline? Just bring in a bunch of old vets.
I guess that's true. That's a good point.
Who is he drafted?
I guess.
Well,
Well,
other than
yeah,
Schaefer.
Schaefer was a gimme, obviously.
Right,
You
exactly.
get the number one pick is kind of a gimme.
So, what has
man.
he necessarily done?
That's a good point. I mean, Waugh at least made them entertaining to watch. They scored more goals than they have the
They
last
scored
several
more
years.
goals,
But
but also Darsh hasn't been the GM that long.
no, he
because
hasn't, because
when
Lou
did
got
Lou get fired?
ousted 2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago.
I think so. It wasn't that long. It was less time ago than you think it was that Lou wasn't in charge of that team. A dinosaur still hanging around somewhere.
Was it just last year?
It might have been just last year.
Was it just last year?
It might have just been last year. So yeah, that's a good point. Darsh might just be trying to save his job. So my second question with DeBoer is, does this count as year one of the 3-year shelf life, or does next year count as year one as the 3-year shelf life? You know what I mean?
I think next year counts as year one of the 3-year shelf life. But remember, he only lasted 2 years in Dallas.
Wait 2 years. Maybe he's out of there. Maybe it keeps getting less. Maybe it'll only be 1 year this time.
Right, because, I mean, it was 3 years in San Jose. It was 3 years in Vegas. It was 2 years in Dallas.
We'll see how long he stays in on the Islanders. But
I don't know how long he was the coach in New Jersey.
Oh, I don't know either. That's going way back at this point. Man, but I guess that does mean the Islanders are going to the Stanley Cup finals next year.
At least one of those 2 years.
Next year or the year after.
Yeah.
Man, what a Jesus Christ! With 4 games left in a playoff hunt, because he's going to bring in an entirely new system. That hold on. Okay, we're back. That time somebody rang my doorbell that I had to go and check on.
We're doing great, guys.
An Amazon driver who was ringing the wrong doorbell. We're a hot mess today. Anyway, Peter DeBoer.
Express.
Peter DeBoer, good luck. You're inheriting a really, really bad defense, and we'll go over it more once we get to the Islanders.
Oh, I think what we were gonna mention was just like, I don't know, like this. The front office had way too high expectations for this team.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
But you know what? It's Sorokin's fault because he was inflating them.
It's Sorokin's fault.
And they were holding, and you know what?
And
it's kind of the rest of the Metropolitan Division's fault too, because until the last quarter of the season so far, the Islanders were in second or third place basically the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Penguins caught up, but that's just one team, and they were kind of neck and neck with the Penguins for a while. But now, the Flyers have caught up, the Blue Jackets have caught up, the Capitals have caught up. So that's 3 teams right up their ass,
Right up it.
All of a sudden, and they're crumbling under the pressure of 3 other teams challenging them for a playoff spot, and. Yeah, I think it's just showing. I think you're absolutely right. I think all of those factors made it so they thought they were better than they truly are. And here we are.
Yes.
Where they have now fallen out of the playoffs.
Now that we're done with the Islanders, I do want to interject. Marcel Dion is only 12 points above Sidney Crosby. I also forgot how many games were left. So 12 points is doable this year, but...
You said Connor McDavid. That's why I got confused when you said that. You said McDavid. You did. I'm pretty
My brain
sure.
said Dion. My brain said Dion.
No, you said McDavid could get to 6th place on the pace that he's at. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's why I was like, what? Crosby.
No, Crosby can get 6th place.
Technically, he could score 12 points in the last 4 games. I don't think so, but technically he could do it.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. I forgot that there were only 4 games left for the Penguins. So,
Although he has, I think, 72 points right now, and you know that man wants to get 15 more points to get 87 for the end of the season.
Absolutely.
And if he does that, we're at Stanley Cup. I'm just saying, it's
Yeah.
not a question after that. Him and his jock will have magic powers at that point. And
He's Jock from high school.
yeah,
You gotta say,
the stench is legendary and powerful. That's why he wins.
look,
It's such a gross thing. It's such a gross fact about him.
it's also like, again,
Honestly,
that picture
really
of it
well-made
hanging up
jock.
behind him.
Well-made jock.
Gotta, yeah, absolutely.
20 plus years. Well-made jock.
Well, like but it's frayed, and it probably was white. Now it's gray. Like,
Eventually, no cleaning will get the color back from it, right?
right.
All right. Let me run through my injuries and let's get to some games. For Carolina, Jordan Stahl, day-to-day undisclosed. Martinook, day-to-day undisclosed. For Chicago, Chicago, I think, is just announcing a couple of...
Sorry.
That's okay. Announcing a couple of guys are just done for the season who have been on the injury report already. And that is Matt Grishlik out for the season, which, is a week and a half longer. Upper body injury. And Lev Shanov out for the season with a hand injury. For Colorado, big one. Cale Makar is just out right now. No timetable. Upper body injury. Yeah, that happened in one of their games this week. And Nichushkin is day-to-day with an upper body injury. For Columbus, Severson, this is also a big one. Out for the season with a shoulder injury. He had surgery, so he's definitely out for the season. And if they make the playoffs, he will not be in the playoffs either. That's bad. That's one of their top defensemen. And they lost him at maybe the worst possible moment to lose one of your better defensemen. When you're fighting with 6 other teams for a playoff spot. Feel a little bad for them. But also, they're in my division, so I hate them. Dallas. Tyler Myers, day-to-day with an undisclosed injury. I almost said Timo Myers. For Minnesota, Zach Bogosian, I feel like is just every couple of weeks is just on the injury report. Day-to-day undisclosed.
Yeah, he's 40.
For the Devils, Gritsjuk, out for the season, upper body injury. For the Rangers, Vakanainen, just out. No timetable in there with an upper body injury. For Pittsburgh, Stuart Skinner, day-to-day upper body injury. He got a puck to the face in a game that he was not playing.
Yeah.
He was on the bench, and I think it was the first Florida game of this week. He was just sitting there, and I guess a deflected puck hit him right in the face, which made Shelov's playing back to get
another game.
Yeah, right. I'm assuming he'll be okay. He was seen in the press box with like black eye and like a cut on his face. Yeah, so I'm assuming he'll be fine for the playoffs. For Utah, McBain out, lower body injury, and Uyghur day-to-day upper body injury. And finally, for Winnipeg, Salo Menson out with a concussion.
Was the McBain the Washington game? Did they play Washington this week or last week?
They did play Washington this week, I believe.
It is.
Correct?
It's that game. He got hurt.
Oh no, they didn't. No, I'm sorry. That was last week. But maybe he got hurt in that game, and then it just re-aggravated or something. Yeah. Right.
Because he got rocked by Wilson.
All right. You want to start us off with teams?
Yeah, why not? So we're going to start off with the Atlantic and Boston. Boston is, like I said, inevitable.
Apparently.
Because they went 3-1.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
They started their week by losing to... Boston this week went 1-2-1. That was last week.
Okay. That's much worse. That's significantly worse.
Yes. 1-2-1. Excuse me. First, they started the week by beating the crap out of Dallas 6-3.
Yes.
Pasternak with 3 assists in that game, and then they lose to Florida 2-1, lose to Tampa Bay 3-1, where they were 69% on the faceoff dot, and then lose to Philadelphia in overtime, where they outshot Philadelphia. Were outshot by Philadelphia 19-31.
Damn.
They were 2 for 9 on the power play this week, 8 for 10 on the penalty kill. Their top player is Pasternak with 5 assists in those 4 games. They are 43, 26, and 9, 50, 95 points. 4th place in the division. Your wild card 1.
Yep, and I think they're going to stay there too.
It looks like they will stay there
this last week
because they only have 4 games left.
Yeah, I think. What is it? They need 3 points this week to clinch, or some teams to lose.
3 points.
Or one of those 2 things.
Yep, that's it. Next up is Buffalo, who had a bad week. Went 1-2. They beat the Islanders 4-3. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
As a Caps fan. Thank you very much. Quinn a goal and an assist. Then they lose to Ottawa. How dare you?
How dare?
Wait, like, you can help me for one, but not both. Come on.
all of a sudden, since Washington's in it now you're like, fuck you, Buffalo.
Yeah. Come on. And then they clinched after losing this game.
They did clinch, yes. The streak is over. The longest
playoff
drought in hockey is over.
They started Saturday before they lose to Washington 6-2. They clinched.
Yeah.
They clinched that day because Detroit had the earlier game.
Detroit lost.
Yep. Lion got chased after 3 goals on 5 shots. Gave up a shorthanded goal. So for the week, they were 2 for 11 with a shorthanded goal against on the power play, and then 6 for 7 on the penalty kill. They don't have a top player. They are 46, 23, and 8. 100 points. I think 09-10 was the last time they've had 100 points. And
what soothsayer was that guy that predicted they were going to get 97 points earlier this year in the offseason?
First of all, it was me. That was the only time I released any data or any statistics.
It was me. I did it.
It was me all along.
Don't look it up.
Don't look it up.
I wrote that.
But
I posted it on my personal blog and read it to you, Bert.
But yes, like they are second in the division right now.
Yeah.
They have clinched. They will not be joining the New York Jets for 15 years, no playoffs, because they were tied.
Dude, the Jets are so bad.
Yeah.
There's fucking no way the Jets are making the playoffs next year. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Their starting quarterback is going to be Geno Smith. So that'll be 16.
What I'm like, this is the first year Osama bin Laden is going to miss a Sabres playoffs.
I saw. I think you said that to me too. That made me laugh so much when I saw that. Noted Sabres fan, Osama bin Laden.
Noted Sabres fan. I think he actually likes Winnipeg. But
they didn't exist back then.
Shut up.
I don't think they did. No, I don't remember when the Thrashers moved.
2013.
Did they? Maybe they were there for like
you're
1
right.
year.
You're
close.
right.
It's close.
I think you're right. I think they moved in 12.
I'm looking it up right now.
All right. Either way, but there was
2011 they moved, so I think you're right.
Ooh.
You're right.
Yeah, he was a big fan.
It was close though. That's close.
Yep. All right,
He's
moving
like,
on to Detroit.
The Jets. Bring back the Winnipeg Jets. Bring back Timu Solani.
Detroit went 1-3 this week.
Yeah, they did.
Yes. For just like the last 3 years, this is the fourth year. This is the 4th year in a row where Detroit has utterly collapsed down the home stretch. March.
Remember when they were in first place in the division for like a little bit?
Yes.
Like a couple of weeks.
And I'm pretty sure I said for now.
You did. Oh, you did. I think we both agreed.
Cool.
Yeah, for now. They're not going to win this division. Because that was when like Tampa Bay wasn't playing very well. Because Tampa Bay had a rough like few weeks of the season.
I still don't trust Tampa Bay's defense, but here we are.
We'll see. I mean, if it's going to get exposed at all, it's going to be in the playoffs.
It doesn't matter.
When they lose to the Penguins in the Eastern Conference Final.
Okay.
I will it get to existence.
Yeah, Detroit went 1-3, and they lose to Pittsburgh 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Gibson starts this game. He does not finish it.
Nope.
Then they beat Philadelphia 4-2. Patrick Kane, a goal and 2 assists. They were outshot by Philadelphia 34-19. That's another game for Philadelphia, outshooting 30 plus to 19.
Yeah.
Then they lose to the Rangers at home. Or, sorry, at MSG. 4-1, where they outshot the Rangers 32-20. And then they lose to Minnesota 4-5, where they were down 4-0.
Yeah, they really came back in this game. Yeah.
No, they were down 4-1 after the second period, got booed off the ice by their fans. Then in the third period, scored, roared back to tie it, and then with 3 minutes left, Patrick Kane takes
I think exactly 2 minutes left.
Takes the dumbest penalty,
It's
interfering or tripping.
He just straight up threw whatever the defenseman was to the ice, who did not have the puck.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they called for that, but
completely away from the play.
Yeah.
Like
it was at center ice, and the puck was in like the other zone. It was nowhere near the puck.
Boneheaded move where Patrick Kane draws this penalty, and Minnesota scores on the power play.
Immediately. They scored immediately on the power play.
Detroit's power play was 2 for 8, and their penalty kill was 6 for 8. Patrick Kane did have 2 goals and 4 assists, and would be their top player if he didn't throw away the season.
I mean, yeah, no, he lost that game and maybe the playoffs for them. So that's a major. I don't care how many points you had this week.
I don't care. Also, at this point, what are we talking about the Yzer plan? Because I'm done with it.
I just don't. I feel like it's stalled out, right? Because
it's been 7 years of Yzerman.
Yeah, the last 4 years we've been like, oh, okay, maybe this year they make the playoffs. But as you said, they have crashed and burned in March into April every year, and it's just like, I don't know that I'd necessarily blame fully Yzerman for them crashing and burning in March, but like 4 straight times, it's got to start being his fault, right?
Who they bring in on the defense? Like who'd they bring in? They brought Falk.
They brought in Justin Falk, yeah.
Kamenik's on this team.
Sherrod is still on the team. Yeah, that defense is crap.
Is Sherrod on this team, or is he on Florida? I don't.
No. Ben Sherrod's still on this team. So that not a good defense. Their goaltending is very questionable. When you're like a guy that's been holding you up is a 40-year-old Cam Talbot.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Gibson's been okay.
Gibson's been a big reason, but he can't do it forever.
Gibson's also mid-30s
down the stretch
too. Yeah. And like Talbot, they've been like, oh yeah, Cam Talbot's our guy, and he's like, Cam Talbot's 40. He's not your guy.
Yeah.
Like, maybe for the rest of the season he's your guy, but like,
Ken Holland did do a lot of damage to make 25 straight playoffs.
He did, yeah. And I mean, that's just kind of what it. Yeah.
Yzerman has had 7 seasons. Kevin Adams built a playoff team in 5.
Kyle Dubas built 1 and 3. So
yeah, what are we doing now?
I feel like he's not gonna get fired. If he resigned, I could see that maybe, but I just don't see it happening. Yzerman is too much of like a figurehead of Detroit Red Wings hockey of the last like 35 years, right? That I just don't think that they'd be like, get out of here. But there's clearly something amiss here. Yeah.
You mentioned Dubas, but Dubas had made multiple playoff teams. Kevin Adams got fired the year his team he built
finally
was going
ignited
to the playoffs.
Fire. Yeah.
Like.
Oh man, I would still.
Buffalo got to the playoffs before you.
If I was Kevin Adams, if you're Kevin Adams sitting at home, I think I would still be pretty proud of this team. But still, like, pretty mad that I'm not in charge of it anymore.
I'm both. Right.
I'd be proud of them. But I'd be like frustrated as hell that I'm not there.
Yeah.
Um,
I think what it was, the straw that broke the camel's back was he sent down Noah Osland during that
right,
Pacific road trip.
right.
Like
I guess
everyone, Osland was doing good, and all
the
the
players liked him.
players liked him. He was doing, even Lindy Roth like called out Adams like after he got like sent down. So I think that was the straw that broke
Yes,
the camel's
yeah,
back.
that was it. I mean, before that, Kevin Adams had been the GM for what 3 4 years, right?
He became the GM in 2020.
Okay, so longer than I even thought. But yeah, it was a really slow build for Buffalo, but it finally came to fruition this year after you fired him,
Mm.
which sucks for him. But
Yeah,
kind of the same thing
at
happened
least
with Iserman in Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay was on the up, and then Iserman, they didn't fire Iserman, he just left.
Iserman left on his own.
Iserman left on
He
his own,
left because,
but then look what
but
happened,
Tampa
right?
Bay was still going to Eastern Conference Finals.
That's true.
Like,
That's true. But so it's not exactly the same thing, but um, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I understand being over it. I just don't. I just can't imagine that the Red Wings are going to fire him, like the
but
ownership or
I
whatever.
think if they don't, they're gonna they're gonna end up like in the middle of mediocrity.
Yeah, that mushy
Yeah,
middle.
which is worse.
I could see potentially maybe firing by promotion. Like he becomes the president of hockey ops, unless he already has that title. He might. I don't know. And then they hire somebody like, below him to be.
Right.
But then you're into the Shanahan Dubas problem, right?
He hired a good GM.
Yeah.
But like, I haven't necessarily seen him hire a good coach. Ken Holland's fine, but
Ken Holland's not their coach.
Not Ken Holland.
Who is their coach?
It's the guy who was he was the King coach last year who got fired.
McLaren?
Todd McLaren?
Yeah.
Todd McLellan?
Yeah.
Todd McLellan.
McLellan, that's it is.
Yeah.
He's fine. Yeah. McClellan's fine. But he's just one of those coaches that's just like
was not.
Lalonde was not. Yeah, Todd McLellan, yeah.
So
I just don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do with
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do with this team.
Because you have a bona fide number one defenseman in Mort Seider, right? But like past him,
Lucas Raymond is a stud.
And Lucas Raymond's great. Dylan Larkin is fantastic. There are pieces there to like, and look, they could still make the playoffs this year. It could still happen, but man, it's just gonna be.
They're only 2 points. They're only 2 points out, and again, they are. They're only 2 points out.
We're
but they're
talking
4
like
and
it's 6
in
the
their last
season,
10.
Right? Yeah. The 4 and 6 in the last 10's not great.
I mean, we're talking like it's the end of the season because there's only 5 games left.
You're right. Yeah,
that's it. And they play Ottawa.
That might be circle that. That might be a playoff game, like play in game essentially for the wild card spot. I don't know. I don't know what to do if I'm the Islanders. Or not the Islanders, the Red Wings.
They play the Blue Jackets tomorrow.
The Blue Jackets have kind of been falling apart too.
Well, they're again defensive injuries.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. They don't play Ottawa, but they play Columbus and Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, 2 other teams that they're fighting with. But
and Tampa.
Right. Yeah.
And Florida's here to fuck something up. And so is New Jersey.
You say that. Florida looked pretty bad in the last 2 games I watched them play. And New Jersey. Jersey I could see trying to play spoilers this week too.
But I see Florida because
Florida.
Let's talk about Florida. Let's talk about Florida right now because they went 2 and 2.
Yep.
They went 2 and 2. They beat Ottawa 6-3.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
They beat Ottawa 6-3. Makachuk 4.9, a goal and 3 assists. Then they beat Boston 2-1. Bobrovsky with a .966 save percentage. This is the games that you saw.
Oh boy, yeah. I saw the two pretty bad games that they played.
A 9-4 loss against Pittsburgh.
Two of those
Bobrovsky
goals were in garbage time.
Where they started this game, where Bobrovsky started this game, he did not finish it. Going 0 for 3 on the penalty kill.
Yep.
And then they followed that performance up by losing to Pittsburgh again, 5-2.
A more respectable score, to be said. A more respectable score.
The score didn't matter.
It didn't matter. They also just didn't really look good in that game either.
They were 3 for 10 on the power play this week, 13 for 17 on the penalty kill. Seth Jones is their top player. 1 goal, 4 assists.
Yeah.
Only a -1.
You know what's crazy about that first Penguins game? Is that game was tied at 2 at one point.
Yeah.
And then they lost.
At one point.
And then the Penguins went up 9-2. And then those last 2 goals, I believe, were with like 7 minutes left in the game. So essentially garbage time.
Florida is 37-37-3. That's crazy.
And
That's
eliminated.
Crazy record.
Eliminated from the playoffs.
And officially eliminated.
That first loss to the Penguins eliminated them.
77 points, 8th in the division, eliminated.
Gone.
Next up is Montreal, who finally put some separation between third and fourth place.
Finally.
Because they went 3-1. They beat Tampa 4-1.
It's good. Get
Caulfield,
that practice in for
assist.
the playoffs.
Yep. Or right now it's the versus Buffalo.
That could jumble around in that last week, right?
It could absolutely jumble around.
They're all within a few points of each other.
Yeah. 4-1 win against Tampa Bay. Caulfield a goal and assist. They were outshot 37-21. Then they beat the Rangers 3-2. Jake Fowler. Jacob? Yeah.
Yeah, Jake Fowler.
In net. Caulfield 2 more goals in this game, which brings him to 49 points.
49 goals.
Sorry,
points.
yes. 49 goals. Thank you. I said points. I meant goals.
I knew what you. Yeah, we knew what you meant. We knew what you meant.
And then they beat the Devils 4-3 in a shootout.
Did you see any highlights from that game? It was essentially a Canadiens home game. There were so many Montreal fans there. I saw.
It not a?
Uh-huh.
It was a home and home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a home and home. So yeah, it was essentially.
I saw somebody
Montreal
post
fan.
online that like tickets to that game are significantly cheaper than tickets to the Bell Center.
Yes.
So like
Absolutely.
Montreal, realistically, I mean, it's sort of far away, but it's it's not terrible of a drive away. To
Newark
go down
is a
to
big
Newark.
airport.
Yeah, you could fly. You could make that drive. It'd probably be fine. It's probably 8-10 hours, something like that.
Cole Caulfield had 2 assists.
Yep.
And this game was at the Bell Center, and they lost 3-0.
Yeah.
And Cole Caulfield told the fans to shut up. Yes, because every time he touched the puck,
because they were like
entire
making noise.
crowd erupted shoot. And the announcers started losing their mind. The announcers started losing their mind whenever the puck got like 15 feet within Caulfield. Because, yes, they want to see the goal. Cole Caulfield scores 50th.
Well, and he's only 2 goals behind McKinnon, too. So he's very close to the goal lead in the NHL.
But the thing is, like, 50 goals isn't necessarily a big deal. That big of a deal.
Not
anymore.
truly
like
anymore, but when's the last time
this
Montreal
might be-
had a 50-goal score? It's been a while, I think.
40 years. That's why.
40 years,
It's been
yeah.
40 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's probably why they're super excited about it, but
But they might overhype this, and like Matthews, and he
give
ends
him
up
the
with
yips a little
69
bit.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Montreal went 2 for 14 on the power play this week, 10 for 10 with a shorthanded goal, 4 on the penalty kill this week. Cole Caulfield is their top player with 3 goals and 3 assists. Montreal, 45, 22, and 10, 100 points as well. 3rd place in the division. They have clinched
Yes.
There was a real fun time where they were second place
I
in
was
the
just
division
gonna say.
due to goal differential. They were second place in the division. Buffalo had clinched, Tampa Bay had clinched, Montreal had not.
It was so
Due to
confusing.
tiebreakers and whatnot.
I was like, how have they not clinched? I don't understand. It was just some with tiebreakers or whatever. They just like
It was tiebreakers and games played.
technically hadn't clinched yet. And
Yep.
it was just like, this is so weird because they were in second place, Buffalo was in third place, and Tampa was in first. And like you said, those other two had clinched, and it's just like no X on Montreal, even though they had the same amount.
No
of
X
points.
on Montreal.
Silly.
It was just fun.
Yeah, I was not the only person that was confused. I went onto the hockey Reddit, and they were like, "Why haven't they clinched yet?
Why haven't they done that yet? All right. Now, it's because they only, out of their 45 wins, only 32 of them are regulation. So.
Oh, okay. So, I think Detroit actually has more than that.
Detroit, they do not.
No,
but
they
had
don't.
a chance to get more than that.
Got it.
And then,
I got it.
You know, that changed.
Yeah.
Ottawa went 2-2 as well this week. They lose to Florida 3-6. Amadio did have a goal and an assist. Olmark does get chased in this game, giving up 5 goals on 16 shots.
It's not good.
That's not good. Then they beat Buffalo 4-1. Olmark has a bounce back game with a .955 save percentage, only giving up 1 goal on 22 shots. They lose to Minnesota 4-1, outshooting Minnesota 34-23, and then they beat Carolina 6-3. Olmark in net. He started all 4 games. Dylan Cousins, a goal and an assist in this game. Ottawa was 2 for 11 on the power play, 6 for 8 on the penalty kill. Ridley Gregg, their top player, 1 goal and 4 assists.
Okay.
Ottawa is 40, 27, and 10. They have 90 points. They are 5th in the division, and they are currently Wildcard 2.
By the skin of their
back
teeth.
in it.
By the skin of their teeth, they're Wildcard 2.
Yep. Moving on to Tampa Bay, who went 2-1. They beat Montreal 4-1. Vasilevsky in net all 3 of these games. Then they beat Pittsburgh or lose to Pittsburgh?
They beat
Did I write
Pittsburgh.
this down wrong?
Yeah, no, they beat Pittsburgh.
They beat Pittsburgh. Okay. I wrote the wrong score first. Beating Pittsburgh 6-3. Sorelli had a hat trick in this game.
Yes, he did. I gotta say, real frustrating game to watch as a Penguins fan because it just seemed like the puck, not because I like referee or anything like that. The puck just looks like luck. It just bounced directly to Tampa Bay every play. It just seemed like
puck luck is
puck
such
luck.
a thing.
It was crazy to watch. It was just like every one of the plays. It was just like, oh, it bounced off the boards right to a Tampa player. It bounced in front of the net right to a Tampa player. That rebound went right to a Tampa player. It's just one of those games.
Yeah, we've seen that happen multiple times, like all over the place. And then they beat Boston 3-1. Darren Radish. Yes, Darren, not Taylor. Darren Radish had the game-winning goal in this game, and also with his goal becomes the highest-scoring defenseman in a season for Tampa Bay.
That's crazy that it's goals. Darren Radish who did that.
It is Darren Radish who passes Hedman and someone else.
That's so crazy.
Because Hedman was tied with someone else for 20 goals, and Radish just gets his 21st.
Yeah, they had some. Oh, it was probably. Oh, I can't think of the. They've had some other defensemen that.
Yes.
If I thought about it longer, I could probably guess who it was, but it's just so crazy that it's Darren Radish who has never scored this many goals ever in his career.
Ever.
Good for him.
Tampa Bay was 0-4 in the power play with a shorthanded goal against. 9 for 11 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal 4. Kucherov and Gensel are their top players. 2 goals and 2 assists, and 1 goal and 3 assists, respectively. Tampa Bay is 48, 22, and 6th. 102 points, first in the division, clutched.
Yes, sir.
Currently playing Buffalo. Right meow.
Oh, right now. Oh, as we speak. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yep.
I was like, that doesn't make sense, but then I understood what you were saying.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in the playoffs. I
Um.
was like, no, they're not.
Nope. Nope. Right now, playing Buffalo for the top of the
Yeah, top of the
division,
division.
which is fucking crazy. Um. Finishing up with Toronto, who went 1-1-1. They beat Anaheim 5-4 in overtime in a game where all eyes were on this because of Gudis. We forgot Domi. That's who fought Gudis on the opening faceoff.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Forgot Domi. There were a couple more fights, and again, too little, too late, in my opinion.
Oh, most assuredly too little too late.
It was a McCabe. I mean, Domi wasn't on the ice when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a guy that would.
Yeah, he would do it.
Throw.
Yeah,
hands.
absolutely.
Yeah, he would have thrown hands. And again, Cowan, I think, got in a little bit of a fight, but there's only 4 guys who wanted any smoke. Still, only wanted any smoke, and yeah.
Fundamentally broken team, this Toronto Maple Leafs.
Nylander had a goal and 3 assists. Penalty minutes were 66-32. But yeah, no fines came from it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Then they move on and lose San Jose 4-1. Stolarz in net there. And then they lose to the LA Kings in overtime. Wolf saving 40 shots because they were outshot 20-40 in a 6-7 game. But Knies did have 2 goals and 2 assists. They were 5 for 9 on the power play and 12 for 13 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal 4. Tavares is their top player with 4 goals and 3 assists in those 3 games.
Okay. That's the Atlantic. And Clay.
That's the Atlantic.
I have some breaking news for you.
Ooh, breaking.
The New Jersey Devils have fired GM Tom Fitzgerald.
Really?
Yep. Just got that notification as you were talking about Toronto there. Yeah, 2 minutes ago. It was announced. So
because he didn't know what way he wanted to build this team. They built it a certain way, or he didn't build it to the way Keefe, there was a disconnect between the coaches.
There's certainly a disconnect somewhere, especially this year.
And
the last 2 years, really.
You could tell because they tried to get a little bit bigger,
right,
and slower. But having
last year you could chalk up to injuries, right? Because they were riddled with injuries last year. This year, again, pretty bad injuries, all told. But when they were fully healthy, they still did not look very good.
Exactly.
So, I agree. There's just some sort of disconnect, and I guess this is upper management choosing Sheldon Keefe over Tom Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I don't think he did necessarily that bad of a job at
I don't think
assembling pieces, but some of the pieces that he got just haven't really meshed. Timo Meier hasn't really meshed that well with that team the few years that he's been there.
No, he hasn't because again they're trying to play him in a kind of wrong position.
Yeah.
But it still hasn't worked.
And I think they they've bungled the Dougie Hamilton situation as well.
And you could argue that they bungled the Quinn Hughes.
Oh yeah, they bungled the Quinn Hughes. Where if you want to believe rumors, they could have gotten him probably.
Right.
But Fitzgerald just didn't want to pay the price. But Minnesota was like, "We'll pay the price." Or he didn't want to pay the price without an extension. I think what it was, or whatever. But
yeah. But all these rumors about Nemec as well.
Yeah, Nemec, because Nemec's contract is up this summer, I think.
He's an RFA this summer.
And he wants, probably fairly, he's going to ask for the same amount that they just gave Luke Hughes, kind of for no reason, right?
Which I wouldn't give him. I know they're the same age, but
Well, I don't think that contract is really justifiable for Luke Hughes either.
No, not with. I think it. Currently,
8 by
it's not.
9
I think it will
or
be.
whatever. It might. Yeah, he might evolve into it, and then it'll look like a great contract. But But I think fairly Nemec is gonna say we're playing similar minutes, we're the same age, give me that contract. Like that's only fair. And like I see where he's coming from. Like that logically makes sense to me. I know if they trade
Yeah.
Dougie Hamilton, they will have the money to do that, but like they got to fix this team in other ways as well.
Yeah, I mean, uh he's gotten 26 points in 63 games played.
That's not horrible for a defenseman.
His
But...
expected goal for when he's on the ice is 47%.
Okay.
Expected goals for.
But like maybe he doesn't
a lot
fit
a lot of these expected goals for defenseman stats. I don't know how to read them, so
yeah.
I'm saying it. Maybe someone else knows how to read it.
But like maybe he's just not a good fit for that system either, right? Maybe him and Timo Meyer are just not really good fits for that. And maybe that's where some of that comes in, and I don't know. I think if
but a new GM might change the coach. So
yeah, a new GM. Maybe that's why they didn't also fire Sheldon Keefe. They were like, we'll just wait for whoever the new guy is to be like, yes, Sheldon Keefe or no Sheldon Keefe.
No Sheldon Keefe, yeah.
Imagine they hire Chiarelli. He'll ruin that team. He will ruin that team.
They're gonna bring Lamoriello back.
Oh my God, that would be such a thing that they would do. That sounds like
they're gonna bring Lamoriello.
Or his son.
But it's not. It's not Lou. Yeah, exactly. It's his son.
That's such a thing that old boys club teams would do, and the Devils are an old boys club team.
One of the Sutters.
God, I hope for their fans' sake they don't do that. But I'll laugh as
absolutely
a team in their division. I'll laugh at them if they do that. Okay, let's move on to the Central Division. Maybe we'll get some more breaking news as we talk, because this is kind of like firing time for GMs. Chicago went 1-1 this week. They lost to Winnipeg in overtime 4-3. Bertuzzi had 2 goals in this game. Mikheyev and Crevier had 2 assists, and Spencer Knight was 20 of 24. They lost to Edmonton 3-1. Got outshot 39-18. Lardis had the only goal. Knight 32 of 33, so he only let in 1 goal. So my man did his best.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was because those numbers don't add up, because he had an equipment problem and had to come out for like 6 minutes of the game. So Soderblom came in and gave up a goal as well, and then they, I guess, got an empty netter. And then they beat Seattle 4-2. Mikheyev had a goal and an assist in this game, while Bedard and Kaiser had 2 assists apiece, and Soderblom was 25-27. Mikheyev's their top player, goal and 3 assists. 1 for 6 on the power play, 4 for 6 on the penalty kill. They are 28, 35, and 14. 70 points, 8th place in the division. Eliminated. Yes.
Eliminated. All right, so a lot of jokes are for Tom Fitzgerald.
The jokes are already rolling in.
A lot of the jokes are about the surprise that he doesn't have a no move clause.
That's a good point too. The whole no move clause things are a big problem.
Look, but the whole no move clause is definitely a product of the flat cap.
Yes, absolutely.
Era.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to take less money, if you want me to take less money to make this cap better, I can't move.
Yeah.
So, and that's fair.
A lot of teams got stuck with those two.
Yeah. Apparently, Friedman theorized Fitzgerald going to Nashville kind of recently. So
okay, maybe
because he was a Nashville captain.
Oh, back in the day. Okay.
Back in the day.
Could very well be. They are looking for a GM.
He was Nashville's first captain. So
they are looking for a GM since Trotz is retiring.
Yep.
At the end of the year. So that would make sense. All right, Colorado. I'm surprised you didn't have a no move clause. Colorado 2-2 this week.
That's
a good joke. That's a good joke.
They
beat down Calgary 9-2.
Yeah, they did.
5 different players had 3 points. 4 different players had 2 points. Scott Wedgwood was 27 of 29, and they outshot Calgary 49-29, and were 3 for 4 on the power play in that game.
But what happened in the next game?
Then they inexplicably lost to Vancouver 8-6.
They lost to Vancouver 8-6. Vancouver did have a 4-goal lead where that they blew.
That tracks. That tracks for Vancouver.
They were up 6-2.
Uh-huh.
And then blew that lead.
Okay, I'm just watching my dog here for a second. Because she saw something outside that I feel like she might start barking at.
I'm a little annoyed. Something I'm a little annoyed about is the Buffalo Sabres brought back the Say beer. You know, the sword beer holder.
Oh, uh-huh.
Just for this game.
Oh, no, Tampa, you're devastated.
To celebrate going to the playoffs, I'm devastated.
Devastated. But hey, look on eBay after the game. There might be one on there.
And it's Dingus Day. Like, Buffalo is having a great time right now. Dingus Day is Polish celebration.
Oh, that's great. I love Polish stuff. I don't know what my dog saw. She's on high alert right now. It must have been a cat or something. In this 8-6 loss to Vancouver, Malinsky did have 2 goals and an assist, while 3 other players had 2 points. Both goalies played and were collected 18 of 25. It's pretty bad. 8 goals on 25 shots is real bad.
Yeah, that's
even more bad. So to Vancouver.
Then
they turn around and shut out Dallas 2-0.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
What a Jekyll and Hyde team Colorado is this week. Natchez goal and an assist. Wedgwood 17 saves for the shutout. And then they lost to St. Louis 3-2. Also kind of surprising. I mean, St. Louis has been surging a bit.
Natchez also kind of got hurt during the Vancouver game. Like, he had to leave and not return. But obviously he came back for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, someone put a low-light reel on Natchez that Vancouver game and said the Natchez and the no-good, awful bad day.
Well, I mean, at least in that low-light reel, they were conceding that it's only one game, right? Like, everybody's allowed to have one bad game every now and then.
Everyone's allowed to have one bad game. And also, it's a good thing he didn't get hurt long-term.
True, that would be a problem. Because McCarr's already out. Like, I think McCarr got hurt in the Vancouver game. I think that also happened in that game. Anyway, in the 3-2 loss to St. Louis, Burns had a goal and an assist, while Blackwood was 25 of 28. 3 for 11 on the power play with a shorthanded goal against. 9 for 10 on the penalty kill. Colorado 50, 15, and 10. 110 points. First place in the division, and they have clinched a playoff spot weeks ago.
They've been clinched.
They've been clinched. They were the first team to clinch of either conference. Dallas 1-2. Not a great couple of weeks for Dallas. Lost to Boston 6-3. Oh, I'm sorry. Scott Wedgwood is Colorado's top player, going 49-52 for a .942 save percentage, 1.26 goals against.
Yeah, Blackwood's in a little bit of a slump.
Yeah, I think Wedgwood is going to be the goalie in the playoffs, if I had to guess. He's been playing much better.
Well, there's some teams that I don't know who is, like, the goalie they go to. Like, some teams might just keep alternating, because I would.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. Colorado, I'm not sure which one is going to be the guy, or if they will alternate.
Well, also because the goalies play different games to, like, be more aggressive.
Yeah. Might depend on who they're playing in the playoffs, yeah.
Right. There's that, because, like, Buffalo, up until very recently, I thought had the same problem, but Lions had a little bit of a drop, and it seems like Luukkonen's net.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the Penguins. The Penguins were kind of just flip-flopping Shelovs and Skinner like every other game. And then Shelovs had like a rough patch, and then Skinner was playing very well. And so everybody was like, oh, okay, well, this is Skinner's net now, kind of thing. But now Shelovs played very well against Florida this weekend. He played both games against Florida this weekend, so I don't know.
But the thing about Skinner is Skinner has the
He has the playoff
playoff
pedigree.
pedigree.
Yeah, so I think the
Yeah.
Penguins will go with Skinner in the playoffs.
Yep.
Anyway, Dallas lost to
Dallas.
Boston 6-3. Johnston had a goal and an assist. Robertson 2 assists. Ottinger 18 of 22. Shut out Winnipeg 3-0.
Yep.
Huru, as we discovered last week, his name is said, and Adam Ernie sighting, goal and an assist. Ottinger 22 saves in the shutout. And then they got shut out by Colorado 2-0. DeSmith 20 of 21. Ottinger is their top player, 40 of 44 on the week, good for a 909 save percentage, 2.03 goals against, and a shutout. They're 2 for 6 on the power play, 5 for 6 on the penalty kill. They are 45, 20, and 12, 102 points, second place in the division, and they have since been clinched too.
Done since been.
But since they tripped up the last couple of weeks, it has allowed the Minnesota Wild to get right back up their butts. Because
I'm also annoyed at Dallas because they had a chance to. They were right up Colorado's butt.
They
had a chance
Colorado
to be
was
number one
having
in the Central, and they blew
was
it.
having a rough time there. Yeah, they let Dallas get within, I think, 5 points of them or something like that. And yeah, Dallas
might have been even left.
Yeah,
less.
And now Dallas is back down, which is fine. Dallas obviously is going to be second or third in the division, but Minnesota did go 3-0 this week. Beat Vancouver. Beat Vancouver 5-2. Matt Boldy had 2 goals and an assist. 3 other players had 2 points. Gustafsson 31 of 35. They beat Ottawa 4-1. Got outshot in this game 34-23. Excuse me. Hold on. I'm just gonna take a drink. Had a little tickle in my throat.
Good sit.
Hartman 2 goals. Zuccarello 2 assists. And Wallstead was 33 of 34. And then they beat Detroit in that game that we already discussed, 5-4. Kaprizov had a hat trick, and he had the game-winning goal too, because that was him lasering the puck from the blue line into the net.
Yep.
3 other players had 2 points, and Gustafsson 18 of 22 in that one. Hartman, Kaprizov, and Zuccarello are their trio of top players, all with 6 points this week. They were 1 for 5 on the power play, 4 for 5 on the penalty kill, 44, 21, and 12, 100 points. Third place, only 2 points behind Dallas now. So one of those two teams is going to have a home ice advantage in the playoffs. Has to happen.
Yep.
One of you has to have it. Nashville is keeping their playoffs hopes alive, going 2-0 this week, beating LA, big win, 5-4 in a shootout. Marchessault had a goal and an assist, Saros 29 of 33, and Evangelista had the only shootout goal. And then they beat San Jose, another team that they're fighting in a playoff spot for. See, Eastern Conference teams, this is how you try to make the playoffs, is you beat the teams around you.
Mm-hmm.
They beat San Jose 6-3. Forsberg, 2 goals and an assist. Yost, a goal and 2 assists. 3 other players had 2 points. And UC Saros was 24 of 27. No top player, though. Kind of spread out goal scoring. Or everything was in one game or the other. 2 for 7 on the power play, 7 for 7 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal for. And ya boys, the Nashville Predators, are 36, 31, and 9, 81 points, 5th place in the division, and currently wild card number 2.
Ya boy.
Ya boys. St. Louis is inexplicably in the playoff race. I think shocking everybody at this point. They went 2-1-1 this week. They did lose to San Jose 5-4. Neighbors 2 assists. Hoffer 24 of 29. They were 2 for 3 on the power play and 1 for 4 in the penalty kill in this game. It was all special teams.
Yeah.
They lost to LA in overtime 2-1. Robert Thomas had the only goal in that game, while Bennington was 24 of 26. They beat Anaheim 6-2. Thomas a goal and 2 assists in that game. 5 other players had 2 points. And Hoffer was 25 of 27. And then they beat Colorado, as I already mentioned. Robert Thomas had a hat trick in this game. He scored all the goals for St. Louis, while his line mates, Holloway and Snuggerud, had 3 assists apiece. Hoffer, it's so funny to look at that stat, and nobody else had points in that game. No one. It's so funny.
Nobody.
Hoffer, 26 of 28. But Thomas is their top player, 5 goals and 3 assists on the week. They're 4 for 14 on the power play, 9 for 13 on the penalty kill, 32, 31, and 12, officially over Hockey 500, 76 points, seventh place in the division. They're a ways out of a playoff spot, but they're still there. They could still
Yeah.
make it. Um, good luck to them, because that would be hilarious if they got that last wild card spot.
Absolutely.
Utah is up next, 2-0 this week. It's so weird, the juxtaposition of I have two teams that only played 2 games, and I have a team that played 5 games this week.
That's crazy. I don't
I
have any
know.
team that only played 2 games. Utah only played 2 games?
Utah and Nashville only played 2 games this week. I had to double check because I didn't believe it.
That
I
kind of
was like,
explains
am I
why
wrong?
Utah did what they did.
They beat Seattle 2-0, or I'm sorry, 2-0. That's not even the close to
No.
being the score. 6-2.
Nope.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Logan
There's 2
Cooley.
in there.
I don't know what my brain just did there. Oh, you know what? It's because they went 2-0. That's what my brain did.
Gotcha.
Logan Cooley had 2 goals and an assist in that game, while Genther had a goal and 2 assists. Schmaltz and Kaylor Yamamoto sighting had 2 points.
What?
Shout out Kaylor Yamamoto. Vemelka was 25 of 27 in that game, and they were 3 for 6 on the power play. And then they beat
Yeah,
Vancouver 7-4. See, Colorado, that's how you beat Vancouver. You just beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Clayton Keller had a hat trick and an assist in this game, while 3 other players had 2 points. Vemelka, 19 of 23, and they were 2 for 4 on the penalty kill in that game. Not great. Keller,
Nope.
Genther, and Cooley are their trio of top players, all with 5 points. They were 4 for 9 on the power play, 5 for 7 on the penalty kill. They are 40, 30, and 6. 86 points, 4th place in the division, and they've been wild card 1 for, I don't know, since Thanksgiving or something. It's been forever at this point. Winnipeg, still in the race for the playoffs as well, went 2-1 this week. They beat Chicago 4-3 in overtime. Scheifele, 3 assists in this game. Connor and Morrissey each had a goal and an assist, while Connors was the overtime game winner, and Hellebuck was 18 of 21. Lost to Dallas 3-0. Hellebuck 18 of 21 in that game as well. And then they beat Columbus 2-1 in what should have been a big game for Columbus, but they lost. Kyle Connor scored both goals in this game for Winnipeg. Scheifele 2 assists. Hellebuck 15 of 16 in this one. And Scheifele is their top player, 5 assists in those 3 games. 1 for 5 on the power play, 3 for 4 on the penalty kill. They are 33, 31, and 12. 78 points. 6th place in the division. 3 points out of a playoff spot currently.
Gotcha.
And that is the Central.
All right, I'm going to finish up with the Pacific. Anaheim went 0-3-1 this week. You know, they had the top of the division. They no longer do because they didn't want it.
There's a lot of that going around this week.
There's a lot of it going around. They lose to Toronto 5-4 in overtime. Leo Carlson did have 2 goals in this game. Then they lose to San Jose 4-3. They outshot San Jose 31-21. They lose to St. Louis, like you said, 6-2. Ryan Poling a goal and assist in this game, and then they lose to Calgary 3-5, where they outshot Calgary 39-20. They were 2 for 15 on the power play this week, 6 for 11 on the penalty kill.
Ooh, baby, that's bad.
That's a problem. That's a problem. They are 41-31-5, 87 points, second in the division.
It's crazy.
Next up is Calgary. Calgary went 1-2. You talked about their first game where they got spanked by Colorado 9-2.
Yeah.
Wolf started it. He did not finish it.
Generally don't games like that.
Yeah, no. Unless you are Charlie Lindgren and the Capitals.
Or whoever that poor goalie was that was in for 10 goals when Montreal refused to go out to carry praise.
Yeah. Then they lose to Vegas 3-6. Coleman did have 2 goals in this game, but they were outshot by Vegas 34-22. And then they beat Anaheim 5-3. Cooley in net here. Farabee a goal and an assist. They were 0-4 on the power play this week. Math real quick. 8 for Jesus Christ. 8 for 13 on the penalty kill.
Who doggy?
Who doggy? They don't have a top player, and they are 32, 36, and 8. 72 points, 7th in the division. Not officially eliminated yet.
Not yet, but they're getting there.
Next up is Edmonton. Edmonton went 2-1. They started their week by shutting out Seattle 3-0. Ingram, the 27 for 27 shut out. They beat Chicago 3-1. Savoli, not Savoli. There's no L in that name. Savoy.
Savoy.
Savoy, the game-winning goal in this game. They outshot Chicago 39-18, like I'm sure you said, and then they lose to Vegas 5-1. Ingram in net for all 5 goals. They were 1 for 7 on the power play, 5 for 6 on the penalty kill. They don't have a top player. They are 39, 29, and 9, 87 points, tied with Anaheim, but they are first in the division.
Yes, sir. Honestly,
moving
where
on to
they
LA.
deserve to be compared to like everyone else in their division, realistically.
Yeah, compared to a lot of teams. LA, they've done it.
Oh yeah,
they
did. They broke
the overtime record. And here's the thing: they went 2-0-1. All 3 games were extra time.
It's insane.
They only have 19 regulation wins.
That's crazy. That's such a low number for a team that's like almost in the playoffs.
Almost in the playoffs. They beat St. Louis 2-1 in overtime. Trevor Moore, the overtime goal. Then they lose to Nashville in the shootout. There's your record right there.
Mm-hmm.
Kempe 2 goals in this game, and then they beat Toronto 7-6 in overtime. Adrian Kempe, a 4-point night, 2 goals, 2 assists as well. 1 for 11 on the power play, giving up a shorthanded goal. 8 for 10 on the penalty kill. Adrian Kempe is your top player with 5 goals and 2 assists in 3 games.
Clay, there's only one team that has less regulation wins than LA.
It's Vancouver.
And it's Vancouver. That's
I know.
Outrageous.
31,
mm-hmm.
26, and 19.
Jesus.
So, whatever 31 minus 19 is.
12.
12.
They have 12 overtime.
12 of those wins are overtime.
Yeah.
No, 12 overtime wins.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Overtime shootout wins, plus the 19 losses.
My God,
so,
they went to
31
overtime games this year.
That's as 31
wins
overtime
as they
games
have.
this year. Exactly.
Oh my God, this is such a good reason the 3-2-1 system should
be for the
be
3-2-1. Yeah, absolutely. And also Washington would be in the playoffs. That's why it should happen.
I love that you're getting grumpier about Washington. Now that
I'm not actually.
I know you're
I'm not actually. It's just fun to be. It's fun to be grumpy.
Yeah, it's fun to be grumpy. It's fun to be mad at your teams and yell at your friend on a podcast about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. 81 points. They're 4th in the division. They don't have a wild card spot though.
Nope. They play Nashville tonight though. Big game.
Ooh, that's a big game. San Jose, on the other hand, went 3-1.
Yes, they did. They had that last wild card spot for a hot second.
And then they gave it up after 2 weeks of bad play.
Yep.
But they're back. They beat St. Louis 5-4, celebrating 2 goals and an assist in this game. Then they beat Anaheim 4-3. Talked about that already. Celebrating 2 goals, 2 assists in this game. Then they beat Toronto 4-1. And the reason I say it like that is Macklin Celebrini had 0 points in this game. And they've only won like 3 games when he doesn't score a point.
Well, that's one of them.
This is one of them. William Eklund had a goal and an assist. And they lose to Nashville 3-6. Nick Leddy, a goal and an assist in this game. Nick Leddy's first goal of the season.
I forgot that motherfucker was on San Jose.
San Jose was 4 for 12 on the power play with a shorthanded goal against, and then another 6 for 11 on the penalty kill.
Ooh, baby.
Um, Celebrini is, of course, their top player. 5 goals, 3 assists. They are 36, 32, and 7. 79 points, 5th in the division. Moving on to a team that was also in the playoff hunt, but decided that they don't want it, is Seattle. Seattle went 0-3. Getting shut out by Edmonton 3-0. Then losing to Utah 6-2. And then losing to Chicago 4-2. Jaden Schwartz is back from that face injury. He had a goal and assist in the Chicago game. But they were 0-8 on the power play. And then 6-10 on the penalty kill. They are 32, 32, and 11. Perfectly balanced at 75 points.
As
Sixth
all
in the
things should
division.
be.
Yep. So there's your worst penalty kill so far. 60%.
Okay, hold on. I have to look something up because I thought I made an error in my notes and I need to double check it.
Okay.
Oh, I
Do
did.
you need me to talk about?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. I did. I just reversed the numbers on the penalty kill.
Coolio. Vancouver is up next. They went 1-3. They lose to Vegas 2-4. Then they beat Colorado 8-6. Brock Besser with
probably their
a
game
hat
of the
trick.
year, honestly.
Brock Besser with a hat trick plus another assist on top of that.
A lot of hat tricks this week.
Had a shorthanded or goal, not Besser, but like Vancouver itself
did.
had a shorthanded goal.
That's an accomplishment.
Then they lose to Minnesota 2-5, and then they lose to Utah 7-4. Linus Karlsson 2 goals in that game. 5-10 on the power play.
Wow.
5-10 on the power play. 9-10 on the penalty kill with shorthanded goal 4 on.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say that's a pretty good team.
That's a pretty good team, but their 5-on-5 is garbage.
Yeah. Well, they're not good. They just had a good week.
No. Brock Besser is the top player, 4 goals, 2 assists. They're 22, 46, and 8. 52 points, last in the league.
Yep. Oh, clinched last in the league, too.
Clinched it, yeah. Eliminated.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to finish up with Vegas, who went 3-0 under Tortorella. 4-2 win against Vancouver. Hill in net. And then Hart came back from injury, so he starts the next 2 games. A 6-3 win against Calgary. Mitch Marner, a 5-point night, a hat trick plus 2 more assists. And then a 5-1 win over Edmonton. Eichel did have 3 assists. They were 2-10 on the power play this week. 5-6 on the penalty kill. Barbashev is their top player with 1 goal and 5 assists. They are 35, 26, and 16. 86 points, 3rd in the division. But there's this weird video that came out, or that was shown, after a period where Aiden Hill's on the bench. And he's holding out holding out his hand for a fist bump. And everybody but Carter Hart just walks by him without giving him a fist bump. I think only like 3 people gave him a fist bump.
I think it was okay, go ahead.
It better be an inside joke.
I think it was an inside joke. I thought I saw something. He said something to the media that was like, "Oh no, that was just like a joke between all of us," kind of thing.
Okay, I haven't seen that, so I'm glad it was an inside joke because that was.
I think it was.
Like, I don't want to make a big deal. Like,
that's pretty fucked up to do, though. Yeah, if it's not like, a joke. That's why I think it's gotta be a joke, because otherwise that's like
be a joke.
What did you do? That what happened here?
Yeah.
That all of these guys are against you.
Also, you're winning this game. Like...
Yeah. That's why I think it must be a joke of some sort. That they were just like, oh, whatever, Aiden.
Again, I hope so. I
hope so
really
too,
do.
because otherwise that locker room's in trouble. If that's
yes.
If they're being mean girls to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I really wonder what animal my dog is seeing outside because she's like going back and forth. I've been
Maybe it's
like,
a skunk
it could be.
or a
I've been like
possum.
hovering over the paws. I've just been like waiting for her to start barking. She hasn't so far though. All right, let's
Drove back
go.
from Syracuse today.
Oh yeah.
Saw like 5 or 6 groundhogs alive on the
Oh, that's
side of the
always
highway.
nice. It's nice to see him alive.
I love, I love me a good whistle pig.
Me too. Did I tell you that our mutual friend who is from California, I don't want to say her name, but we were driving somewhere and she saw one on the side of a road and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
said to me, "What was that?" And I was like, "What was what?" And she was like, "That brown thing on the side of the road, it was moving." I was like, "A groundhog?" And she was like, "Was that what that was?" I was like, "Yeah, it
They
was."
have ground squirrels. They have ground squirrels in California. Like,
Apparently not in the northern
not as
part
big.
because
Not as
had
big.
never seen one of those before. She was like mystified. And then on that same drive, she saw a cardinal, which she also had never seen before. And I was like,
Yeah, that's not a west.
how?
That's not a West Coast bird.
I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm surprised that because at this point, our friend has lived here for 3+ years, I think, at this point. I'm shocked she hasn't seen a groundhog or a cardinal.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I get
That's what
excited every
surprised
time
me
I see
more.
I think I get excited every time I see an oriole, just because they're hard to see.
I get excited when I see a blue jay. Just they're a fairly common bird, but you don't see them that much, right?
I I had when I was living in Connecticut,
Hmm.
we had like 5 living in our complex.
Oh,
So
okay.
like,
Well, lucky
yeah.
you. I see them sporadically, but I do see the random parrots that live in Connecticut.
the
The Quaker parrots.
the
They're monk
Quakers, yeah.
parrots. Yeah.
Yep.
Monk parakeets, I should say. That this is just such a tangent that we went on for some reason,
Yeah.
and every time I see them, I'm like, oh, I forgot those are here because
Right.
they must have escaped from captivity or were released by people here. But what's nice is technically they're an invasive species, but they fill a niche in
That was
the
lost by the Carolina
yes
parakeet. Yes.
in the ecosystem that was lost by the parakeets, by the Carolina parakeets, and so they don't disrupt the ecosystem. So they're
Nope.
fine. They just live here. They're fine.
Yeah.
They're communal nesters, so they build big nests that they all stay
Right.
in the winter.
They're in the
Very
cities.
interesting bird.
They are. I think. I think they're more of a problem up north in like, because I think they've been found in like Montreal, like that
Oh,
far
okay.
north.
I could
Which
see that
I
being
don't
more of
think
a
the
problem.
Carolina parakeet. I don't think the
Sure,
Carolina
that's out of
parakeet made
range
it
for the
that
Carolina
far.
parakeet.
So
It's just interesting because
they're more of a
you
problem up there.
would be like, okay, I'm in Connecticut. Why are there wild green parrots flying around?
Well, it's the same. You're in Connecticut. Why is there a native cactus?
Yeah,
Um.
Connecticut's a weird state. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was biology talk with Bert and Clay
Eastern
and
prickly pear, all up and
on the
down.
hockey podcast.
All up and down the coast.
That is interesting.
I don't know if it's native to the Buffalo area, but I'm
I'm gonna go look
probably
for it.
plant some in my gonna probably
Yeah,
plant
yeah,
some in my front yard.
yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
All right, back to hockey. After our
back to hockey.
biology off ramp there, Carolina went 3-1 this week. Beat Columbus 5-2. Ehlers a goal and 2 assists. Fechnikov goal and an assist. Bussy 23 of 25, and they were 3 for 5 on the power play in this game. Then they turned around, beat Columbus again 5-1. Stankoven 2 goals in this game. Aho
Yeah.
and Hall 2 assists is not a good week for Columbus, if you can already tell. And Anderson only had to make 9 of 10 saves to win this game.
Well, yeah.
They beat the Islanders 4-3. So that's what we were talking about. That some of these would-be playoff teams are playing the top of the divisions, and that's the Islanders and Columbus this week playing Carolina, both losing to them. Jarvis had 2 goals and an assist. Miller 2 assists. Bussy 13 of 16 in that 4-3 win over the Islanders. But then they lost Ottawa 6-3. Jackson Blake 2 assists. Anderson 26 of 31, 1 for 2 on the power play. 0 for 2 on the penalty kill in that one.
Oof.
Stankoven and Svechnikov are their co-top players, each having 5 points. Stankoven 4 goals and an assist. Svechnikov 3 goals and 2 assists. 5 for 12 on the power play. 7 for 9 on the penalty kill with 3 shorthanded goals for. Crazy week. They're 49, 22, and 6. 104 points. First place in the division. Clinched this week. They're definitely going to win the division. I can't imagine
absolutely
a scenario where they do not. Columbus, 0-3 this week.
Yeah.
Losing to Carolina twice, as I already mentioned, 5-2 in the first game. Marchenko, goal and an assist. Marchment, 2 assists. Greaves, 28 of 32. They're 2 for 5 on the power play. Losing to Carolina again, 5-1. Got outshot 21-10. More on that in a moment. Matt Yachuk had the only goal, while Merzlikins was 16 of 21. And in this game, 8 of the 10 shots were recorded by defensemen, which is the lowest amount of combined shots from forwards ever. Ever. Since they started keeping the statistic on shots in 1959 to 1960, it is the lowest amount from a forward group in any game. 2. That's crazy. That's a crazy statistic.
Crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Boy. And then they lost to Winnipeg 2-1. Provorov, the only goal in that game. Jet Greaves was 23 of 25. No top player. Don't deserve one after only getting 2 shots from forwards in a game. 0 for 7 on the power play. And I got our worst penalty kill because they went 4 for 8. 50%. 38, 27, and 12, 88 points, 5th place in the division. But Columbus fans, you gotta be proud of this team because they were at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, 2.5 months ago?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Look at them. They're only 2 points out of a playoff spot right now. So, they could still do it. The Devils can't do it, but they went 2-1-1 this week. They lost to the Rangers 4-1. Brown had the only goal in this game, while Markstrom was 19 of 23. Did beat Washington 7-3. Jack Hughes 2 goals and 3 assists in that game. Jesper Bratt goal and 4 assists. Heischer and Mercer each had 2 points, and Jake Allen was 29 of 32. And then they lost to Montreal 4-3 in a shootout. Meyer and Hughes, Jack Hughes that is, had a goal and an assist. Allen 26 of 29, and then they beat Montreal 3-0. Jack Hughes 2 assists in this game. Markstrom 18 saves for the shutout. And Jack Hughes, in case you couldn't tell that I mentioned him a bunch of times as their top player, had 3 goals and 6 assists this week. 2 for 8 on the power play, 11 for 14 on the penalty kill with a shorthanded goal for. They're 39, 34, and 3, 81 points, 7th place in the division. Not eliminated yet, but gonna be soon, I would think.
I'd agree with you.
Oh, the Islanders are up next, and Clay, they went 0-4 this week.
Yeah, they did.
So the 2 teams that were vying for the third place, second or third place in the Metropolitan Division, between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the New York Islanders, went a combined 0 for 7 this week. Yikes.
Yeah.
So
because they were only 1 point behind Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Only 1 point behind Pittsburgh. If you guys remember last week, I was super nervous because that day when we were recording, they were playing the Penguins. They were playing the Penguins that night. As we were recording, I was super nervous for the game, and the Penguins went 8-3. The Penguins annihilated the Islanders. 3 players on the Islanders did have 2 points in this game. Sorokin, 22 of 29. He let in 7 goals in this game.
Yeah.
And the Islanders, here's food for thought, were up 3-1 at one point in this game.
They were.
There were 8 goals scored between the 2 teams in the second period. 5 of them by the Penguins. What a poor defensive game by the Islanders. Because we weren't watching it necessarily together, but we were both watching the game. And we were just texting back and forth like, what are they even doing? That eighth goal, nobody even tried to stop Brian Rust from scoring that goal. No one.
No, not even a little bit.
It was like they were all synchronized, just like skating the exact same way, and nobody tried to like stick check him at all, and he just easily scored a goal. It
Mhm.
was like, I mean, granted, maybe at that point they were like, we just want this game to be over, kind of thing, but still,
Yeah.
like to not even try, come on. Then they lost to Buffalo 4-3, closer game at least. Horvat 3 assists, Shen a goal and an assist, Sorokin 29 of 32, 2 for 4 on the penalty kill in this one. Lost to Philly 4-1. Pajot had a goal, Sorokin 17 of 21 in this game, and then they lost to Carolina 4-3. Got outshot 40-16 in this game.
Mhm.
Gatcombe, Lee, and Shabanov had the goals, while Sorokin was 36 of 40. Despite going 0-4, Matt Barzell did show up and had a goal and 4 assists in those 4 games. 2 for
Good for
9
him.
on the power play with 2 shorthanded goals against. 8 for 10 on the penalty kill. They are 42, 31, and 5, 89 points, 4th place in the division. No playoff
No
spot.
playoff spot.
They're the first team out by points currently. On the flip side, another part of New York, the Rangers went 3-1 for some reason.
Yeah, they did. I don't get it.
I don't know why, but they've decided, the very end of the season when we've already been eliminated from the playoffs, let's fuck up our draft lottery percentages.
Let's fuck up our lottery, but also let's fuck up all these teams' playoff hopes.
That is true. They are doing that as well. Knocked off New Jersey 4-1, so that probably kind of killed whatever hope New Jersey had. Fox 2
Yep.
assists, Shesterkin 22 of 23. Did lose to Montreal 3-2. Cooley and Fox had the goals. Shesterkin 22 of 25. Beat Detroit 4-1. Got outshot 32-20. I think you said that. Perreault had a hat trick in this game, while Adam Fox had 2 assists, and Johnny Quick was 31 of 32. And then Clay look away because they beat
I know.
they beat Washington 8-1. I also watched this game.
I watched the first 2 periods.
Beat Washington 8-1 in just a sloppy steak of a game for Washington.
Hey, it was 1-1 at one point.
Yeah, for a couple minutes.
Yeah, for a couple minutes.
Will Cooley had 3 goals in this game. He also had a hat trick. That 3 goals is a hat trick, duh. Adam Fox
Good
goal
for you, bud.
and 2 assists. And Mika Zibanejad had 3 assists in this game, while Shesterkin was 20 of 21, and they were 2 for 4 on the power play in that game. Adam Fox and Igor Shesterkin are their top players. Fox 2 goals, 6 assists. Shesterkin 64 of 69, good for a .928 save percentage, 1.69 goals against. It's nice of Adam Fox to kind of finally show up this season.
Yeah.
Philly went 2-2 this week. Lost to Washington 6-4. 3 different players had 2 points in this game for Philly. Vladar 12 of 17, not great. 1 for 3 on the penalty kill in this game as well, also not good. Lost to Detroit 4-2. Outshot Detroit 34-19. I know you said that one. Konechny and Forrester had the goals in this game for Philly, while Urson was 15 of 19. And then they beat the Islanders 4-1. Mishkov, a goal and 2 assists. Bump, our boy Bump, and Sondheim each had a goal and an assist apiece. And Vladar is 21 of 22. And then they beat Boston 2-1 in overtime. Dvorak and Porter Martone, who made his debut this week, had a goal and an assist apiece. That's Porter Martone's first career goal and was the overtime game winner.
It was an overtime game winner, yeah.
He, I think he debuted in the Islanders game. He had another point at some point in this week. Vladar 18 of I think he debuted against Washington actually. Vladar 18 of 19 in that victory over Boston. Dvorak's their top player, 2 goals, 3 assists. 1 for 11 on the power play, 5 for 9 on the penalty kill, 39, 26, and 12, 90 points, and they have caught the Islanders and are in 3rd place in the division.
Yeah.
Which is wild because Philadelphia
That's crazy.
has 23 regulation wins, 24 regulation wins, which obviously not as
Is
low
it
as LA.
only? Is it only that much? Jesus Christ, you're
It
right.
is
It's over
only that
24.
much. And they have 9 shootout wins. 9.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Well,
that's going to play
they
so well in the playoffs, but
only lost. I'm pretty sure they only lost those four. Like those four shootout losses were recent.
I think so.
I think they were. I
They
think
were
they
one
were
of the
9-0
better. They were one of the better
one
shootout
point.
teams this year. But my point is they're pretty good at the 3-on-3 / shootout. None of that's in the playoffs, so I don't know.
No.
you know. But at this point,
But
they would
as
be
of
playing
right
the
now,
Penguins.
they're playing
So
Pittsburgh, and that's a rivalry that
so
anyone
that'll
shows
even
up
it out.
for.
That'll even it out. Yeah. All right. Anyway, talking about the Penguins, they went 4-1 this week. They played 5 games this week. Psychopaths.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Islanders 8-3. I think we've talked about all of these games already. They beat the Islanders 8-3. Mantha and Brazeau had 3 points in this game. 5 other players had 2 points. Shilov's 20 of 23. Beat Detroit 5-1. Chinikov, a goal and an assist. Skinner, 22 of 23. Did lose to Tampa Bay 6-3. Chinikov, 2 goals in this game. Girard and Letang each had 2 assists, while Stuart Skinner was 27 of 32. Beat Florida 9-4. As we already mentioned, Malkin had a hat trick and an assist, his first hat trick since 2022. Carlson had a goal and 3 assists. 4 other players had 2 points. Shilov's 19 of 23, and they were 3 for 3 on the power play in that game. And then the next day, they beat Florida again, 5-2. Crosby, a goal and 2 assists. 4 other players, 2 points. Shilov's 29 of 31. And I felt like I needed to shout all of these players out because Raquel and Crosby each had 8 points, 7 goals, and an assist for Raquel this week. He had 7 goals this week. He's been on fire.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Crosby, a goal and 7 assists. Mantha, Malkin, and Chinikov all had 7 points apiece as well.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, Clay, I really don't understand why Columbus didn't want Chinikov.
Chinikov? No, I don't get it.
Because he has done nothing but light it up since coming over to the Penguins. So, like, whatever, he didn't fit into their system or just whatever, I don't know.
Change your pace.
Because even I was reading an article today that was like kind of a mailbag article for a Penguins beat writer, and the question was like, why did Columbus not want Chinikov? And he was like, I have no idea, and I'll tell you right now that all of the other Penguins, well, of course not, but he said all of the other Penguins players that he's asked also have no idea why he was just like the odd man out in that team. So I'm happy to have him.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Washington, last up, went 2-2 this week. They beat Philadelphia 6-4. It's not a bad record, just one really bad game.
The Philadelphia win was a big win.
Big win.
Followed up by a bad loss.
Followed up by a big win, and then a bad loss. Beat Philly 6-4. Dubois had 4 assists in this game. Chychrun, goal and 2 assists. 5 other players had 2 points. And Thompson was 20 of 24. Lost to the Devils 7-3. Wilson and Dubois had a goal and an assist apiece, and Thompson was 23 of 29. And they beat Buffalo 6-2. Huge win. Got outshot 39-28 in this game. 5 different players had 2 points, and Thompson was 37 of 39. And then, of course,
Thompson, I think, had a short-handed. Wilson had a short-handed goal.
Wilson, yeah, there you go. And then, of course, the 8-1 loss to the Rangers.
8-1.
McMichael did score the goal, and Lindgren was in for all 8 goals, 24 for 32, 2 for 4 on the penalty kill in that game. But Pierre-Luc Dubois had a goal and 7 assists this week.
Yeah.
3 for 11 on the power play, 11 for 14 on the penalty kill, with a shorthanded goal for that Wilson goal against Buffalo. They're 39, 29, and 9, 87 points. 6th in the division, but they're in it. They're right in it for a playoff spot. 3 points out currently, but with, who knows what could happen. So, real quick, let's look at, we'll No, we already talked about the standings. If you would indulge me, Clay, I have the remaining schedules for all of my playoff hunt teams. Starting with the
All right.
Islanders, they have Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Carolina. That's rough. I
That is
mean,
rough.
you got Toronto that you should beat, but then you got Ottawa who you're fighting with for a playoff spot, and then two teams that have already clinched a playoff spot in Montreal and Carolina. Now you could argue maybe that game for Montreal and that game for Carolina doesn't matter, so maybe they won't maybe they'll sit some guys. I don't think so for
But
Montreal, but Carolina maybe
they're still fighting for
for
first in the
seeding.
division.
Well, I could see
Yeah,
I
they're
could
fighting
see
for seeding.
I could see Carolina. Well, no, because they might be fighting for number one overall in the conference
Hmm.
with Tampa or Montreal or Buffalo. Um,
What does Carolina have?
they're at 104 points. So
So right now they
currently they're
have it.
number one in the East. But Tampa is 2 points behind them, and then Montreal and Buffalo are 4 points behind them. So they could be
Right, so
caught.
it's possible. Yeah.
Columbus has 5 games left. They get Detroit, Buffalo, Montreal, Boston, and Washington. That sucks.
That
That sucks
sucks.
for them. I mean, that Detroit
Yeah.
game I think is winnable, but then they got to go through murderer's row of Buffalo, Montreal, and Boston, and then that last game against Washington.
Yeah. Exactly.
That sucks for Columbus. Washington gets Toronto, a home and home against the Penguins, and then Columbus. So they only have 4 games left.
They gotta win all 4.
They do
If you want
kind of need to win all 4, but I can foresee them dropping at least one of those Pittsburgh games because there ain't no way
I can see.
the Penguins want them to get into the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely not.
But so that's easier than the Islanders and Blue Jackets, but still not a super easy schedule, right? You got the Penguins playoff team twice, and then that last game against Columbus. Philly. Philly has 5 games left. They get the Devils. They get Detroit. They get Winnipeg. And then Carolina and Montreal. Man, a lot of these teams play Carolina and Montreal in the
Yeah.
last few games. So that kind of sucks for them. That's 3 pretty winnable games. That Detroit game is going to be pretty important. But those 2 games against Carolina and Montreal, man, why do so
Right.
many of these teams have those 2 teams like lined up in their last 2 games?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the West. Nashville has 6 games left. They get LA tonight, Anaheim tomorrow, Utah later this week, Minnesota, San Jose, and then Anaheim again.
Right.
All
So,
teams that are either in the playoffs or trying to get into
we're
the
hunting
playoffs.
for it. Yeah.
So that's kind of a rough schedule for Nashville, especially because Nashville's not a particularly good team, so that makes it harder. St. Louis has 6 games left as well. Colorado, who they just beat, Winnipeg, Chicago, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and Utah. So, I mean, hey, look,
That's rough too.
that is rough. They just beat the top team in the league. They just beat Colorado. So they have another game against them.
Yeah.
Very winnable game against Winnipeg. Should absolutely beat Chicago. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Utah. That's kind of a rough last week of the
Right.
season. And then
Anything else you got?
I got one more. I got Winnipeg, who also has 6 games left, currently playing Seattle. They then have St. Louis, Philadelphia, Vegas, Utah, and San Jose. So easier than
So-
some of the other ones, but still not great.
I already talked about Detroit. I already said their schedule earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
Ottawa has Tampa Bay, Florida, the Islanders, the Devils, and Toronto.
Okay,
That's not good.
that's not good. Man, a lot of these end of schedules are hard for these
Yeah.
teams.
And even though Toronto has been eliminated, that's your
They want to play spoilers too. That's your
Providence rival.
number one Providence rival. Yeah.
so that's not good.
You don't think that they wouldn't delight to knock you out of the playoffs?
Absolutely. So yeah, really, it's just, and so it's. I already said Detroit, Ottawa is. 'Said Ottawa, and that's really it when it comes down to. 'Cause, like I said, Detroit, Ottawa, Ottawa, 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 Detroit
Oh yeah, I
the
guess that's
Atlantic
true.
teams.
Yeah.
When it but when it comes to the Kings, um, give me a second. Like we said, the Kings play the Predators tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But then they play Vancouver, Edmonton, Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary.
Poof.
Theoretically easy, but the Kings aren't good.
No.
Um,
Yeah, like you just said. Theoretically, like that's not that hard of a schedule, but like the Kings aren't good. Like that's kind
no,
of the
Kings aren't
problem
good.
with like Winnipeg and St. Louis and Nashville is like those schedules are harder because this team is mediocre at best.
Um, San Jose has 7 games left.
That's
They
crazy that
play
they have 7 games left.
they play Chicago tonight.
Okay.
Edmonton, Anaheim, Vancouver, Nashville, Chicago, Winnipeg. Again, that's a
That's
winnable schedule.
there's
You,
3 games
can
in there
end up
that they should definitely win. The 2 against
right,
Chicago and then a Vancouver game. Right.
but who knows?
But yeah, I mean, who knows? Because again, San Jose is fun, but they don't play defense. So
Nope. And I'm not worried about Seattle. They got 75 points. Sure, they have 7 games left as well,
yeah,
but I don't see it. I don't see it.
technically they're in it, but they've fallen by the
Um,
wayside at this point.
Absolutely.
All right, well,
So that's it.
that is week 26 of the NHL season. Next week we'll probably have some more teams clinch playoff spots. I would think.
Hmm.
I think Pittsburgh and Boston should be clinching pretty soon. Should clinch this week, I think, if they like win a game, essentially. Um, Maybe Edmonton and Anaheim could clinch this week too if things go right for
Yeah.
them. Potentially Utah as well, but we'll find out, right? We'll find out all together. And then after this next week of games, we don't even have a full week left, and then we
No,
got the
we go till
playoffs.
Thursday.
Yeah, I think
Or
Thursday
Wednesday.
is the last Thursday the 16th, I think is the last set of regular season games. And then we
But
got the
there's no
playoffs.
games Friday the 10th.
Hmm?
The 10th of April, Friday. This Friday.
Yeah.
No games.
0 games?
0 games.
That's how? That doesn't even make sense to
I
me.
don't understand. No, it
That's
doesn't make
crazy.
sense.
No,
But
I'm
here
not
we are.
telling you. I'm not saying you're wrong. That's just crazy. Because some teams play like 1 game next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like with that Friday we could have probably ended the season like 1 day earlier. Whatever. But thank you guys for listening. As always, we can be found wherever podcasts are found. Give us a rate, review, subscribe wherever applicable, and we'll be back next week for week 27 of the NHL season. Maybe some more coaches will get fired and some more GMs.
Probably.
Probably, but we'll see you at the same puck time.
Same place.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.